The fake alien invasion agenda. Okay. See, this is good. This is good.
Alright, so for this video, I'm going to be delving into the fake alien invasion psyop that I see. I think that this is something that is coming up. It's an upcoming psyop. And
Definitely an upcoming psyop. Because how come? Okay, we were talking about this yesterday. How come all these people, all these scientists are missing? Okay, Trump has been talking about disclosing a bunch of this like alien, like UFO like type things, and then every year there's always a new alien that they have or whatever. Um, I was watching. I don't know if I watched it with you guys, but I watched the Amy Eskridge interview, and she was like, "Oh, Alien P-51 and P-52. That's like no, I think it's P-41 and P-57. That P-41 is post. I think post or whatever. 40, 40, 4,100 years into the future, and then 57 is 5,700 years into the future, one or the other. So it's like, I feel like they're prepping. They're definitely prepping for something, and that's for sure.
and the reason why I'm making this video is because of the fact that you have like the recent news of all of these missing scientists,
Holy shit!
all of like these missing UFO researchers. You have people, even people like David
Crazy.
Wilcock, who was like a guy who was featured on the Ancient Aliens show on the History Channel. You have people like him, people like Eric Von Daniken and Nick Pope, all dying in a similar time span. You're really close to each other, and I think that the fact that this is plastered all over the mainstream media, the fact that this is plastered all over the news, I think
Sus. It has sus written all over it.
that this is something that they want us to see. And I think that this is pointing to something that is, and especially like the way that it's been pushed on the algorithms. I think that that's the main reason, why I'm making this video, is because of the fact that it's been very pushed into.
Again, that Amy Eskridge shit happened back in 2022, I think. It happened 4 years ago. Why is it just getting pushed now? No one gave a fuck about that shit in 2026. That's weird. That's weird. All the videos started getting published this year. The oldest videos were posted not even a year ago. No one cared in the moment. Why? There was interviews way before, but they started getting published as of last year. Why?
To my algorithm, it's been very sort of pushed into my For You page, that oh my gosh, there's all these missing UFO scientists or whatever, and then of course you have like oh my gosh, Trump's looking into it, guys, and of course politics is a puppet show. So anytime you see politics being involved, that's how you know it's a puppet show. That's how you know it's part of the world stage. Okay, so I think that this is definitely something that is part of an upcoming psyop, right? So I think that this is being used to sort of prime the public for the sort of the sort of existence of like an ET threat. Like they want to sort of promote this idea of an extraterrestrial sort of alien threat. And you've seen this with like people like Lou Elizondo and people like Chris.
They're supposed to be whistleblowers, but only say leak what the government allows them to.
Ellen and people like Hal Puthoff, they're all like
facts, just like that Amy Eskridge bitch. I watched basically like the whole interview. She wasn't saying shit. And then the one guy was muted the whole fucking time.
These so-called Pentagon whistleblowers, which they're fake whistleblowers. Okay, it's like they're whistleblowers, but everything they say is approved by Congress, right? It's like, oh, okay, and that's the interesting thing, that like I don't get how people don't see through that stuff, because like these people, they say, oh, okay, I'm a whistleblower, I'm risking my life for this stuff, and then everything they say is approved by the Pentagon, and if they can't say it, then they say, oh, I'm not allowed to say it. Like, how are you a whistleblower, but you're not allowed to say XYZ, right? So it's like, and then these people go on Joe Rogan and they say, oh, hey guys, I know a bunch of stuff, but I'm not allowed to say it.
Yeah, bro, you think these niggas would be going on Joe Rogan and risking their lives? Like, no, bro, they wouldn't risk shit. These people are not down to die for the cause, bro, because they got families, they got shit that, that they're trying to protect, bro. People aren't that negligent as you think, bro. These people are not that like legit. They're because they know if the stuff that they were saying weren't allowed to say by the government, they would get offed. That's why they're always like, oh, I can only say so much.
Because Congress hasn't approved it, but I also have a book that I'm selling, right? So it's like these people definitely are grifters. Lou Elizondo glows the brightest shade of green that I've ever seen. Okay, so there's definitely, and especially with like the whole the government admitting that UFOs exist, or like UAPs, which like the whole word UAP is something that it's definitely government newspeak. It's government glow speak. Anytime someone says UAP, it makes me cringe because like it's Fed speak. It's language that only government agents use, and so I just call them UFOs. Okay, but yeah, there's definitely that sort of agenda behind that. And yet again, like, why would the government disclose that unless it's something that they want you to see? They want you to think that, oh, okay, there's aliens flying around and like they're extraterrestrial, entities. So there definitely does seem to be this sort of specter of like an alien threat or like an alien invasion that they've been cultivating for a while now. And the thing about this is, like, if you want to talk about like an alien invasion, there is a real sort of alien invasion, but it's not in the way that they're presenting it. It's like the real invasion has been happening for thousands of years, and it's a much more spiritual battle. It's a reptilian / archon invasion. That's the real alien invasion. It's the invasion through people. It's the invasion through demonic possession. It's the invasion from the lower astral into this realm. That's the real alien invasion that's been occurring. And so I think that
it's more like of a demonic invasion.
That that is like the real form of alien invasion that's happening. Like the manipulation of humanity from behind the scenes, the demonic possession, the hyperdimensional entities, like the reptilian entities. That's the real invasion. Like the invasion is not the space lasers and the UFOs and the gray aliens. Like the real invasion is a much more I think there's a much more spiritual tone to it than they want us to believe. I think that I think that like the alien side, it's not so much that like, oh, non-human entities don't exist, because non-human entities, non-human intelligences definitely do exist. But what they're trying to do with the alien stuff is that they're trying to secularize the existence of spiritual entities. They're trying to make it seem like, like whether you call them demons, whether you call them the archons, whether you call them jinn or evil spirits, they're trying to secularize it and make it seem like, oh, okay, these are little green men from another planet. But there is a hyperdimensional aspect to them, and this is why you see UFOs appearing and disappearing into and out of thin air. Is that they're phasing in and out of the astral plane, and so that's really where the true alien invasion is happening. And it's a spiritual battle. It's a spiritual thing from the lower astral. It's not going to be like a very public thing like they put in the movies and like they put in in the news like they've been doing, right? And so I think that and the whole thing about like aliens being hyperdimensional entities and aliens not being what they claim to be, that this reminds me of this Art Bell call, this Art Bell caller who called, and he was like an employee from Area 51, and he was talking about how aliens are hyperdimensional beings, and that that they're essentially controlling things from behind the scenes. I'll play the clip. I'll play the audio clip right now so that you can hear it.
Line, you're on the air. Hello.
Holy shit.
Oh.
Hello, Art?
Yes.
Hi. I don't have a whole lot of time.
Well, look, let's begin by finding out whether you're using this line properly or not.
Area 51.
Yeah, that's right. Were you an employee or are you now?
A former employee.
Former employee.
I was let go on a medical discharge about a week ago, and I've kind of been running across the country. Oh man, I don't know where to start. They're gonna they'll triangulate on this position really soon.
So you can't spend a lot of time.
What the fuck?
I'm on the phone. So give us something quick.
Okay. Okay. What we're thinking of as aliens, Art, they're extra-dimensional beings that an earlier precursor of the space program made contact with. They are not what they claim to be. They have infiltrated a lot of aspects of the military establishment, particularly the Area 51. The disasters that are coming, the military, I'm sorry, the government knows about them, and there's a lot of safe areas in this world that they could begin moving the population to now, Art.
But they're not doing anything.
They are not. They want the major population centers wiped out so that the few that are left will be more easily controllable.
Yo.
Discharge.
I started getting...
Oh, damn, they got him. They got his ass. Damn, bro. What the fuck? How come Art's not saying shit? Did they get his ass too? Whoa, what the fuck?
In some way, something knocked us off the air, and we're on a backup system now.
Bro, they knocked out his whole fucking show?
Government, or
I don't know.
it has to be something, though.
Well, did you hear? Now, you tell me because you were listening.
That was awful strange.
There was a really weird guy on the air when it went off?
Yeah, real weirded out.
Like, going sort of sounding paranoid,
Yeah.
schizophrenic?
Like crying and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how far into the conversation was it when it went off?
Just a couple, about 15, 20 seconds, I'd say.
Oh, you
Something like that.
guys missed, you really missed a call then, and I've got a feeling somebody didn't want you to hear it.
Yeah.
But
Holy shit, bro. Yo, you know what's crazy about Art? And damn, I'm gonna have to end early too, bro. Don Strauss, I just saw that he just came in. Damn, dude, bro, what a shame that I have to leave early. This is a good ass video.
that is kind of like an interesting thing, and there is a lot of predictive programming whenever it comes to movies like Independence Day, like the Three Body Problem is also another one that like a lot of people are talking about, because like the Three Body Problem, I've never watched it, but it is like a Netflix thing. I think it's a Netflix thing. But like the plot of that sort of series or that movie is basically
Wasn't the Three Body Problem from the creators of Game of Thrones? Yeah, it wasn't. Isn't it supposedly like the most how do they put it? Like the most, when it was a book, it was like the most praised book or something, like an insane ass book. Apparently it's really, really good.
the idea of like aliens killing scientists who get too close to get too advanced in whatever technology that they're developing. So like a lot of this like missing scientist stuff, a lot of this missing, all these UFO researchers are going missing. It feeds into the predictive programming stuff like the Three Body Problem, and then of course you have like this new upcoming movie called Disclosure Day, which is like a sequel to Independence Day. And in the movie posters of Disclosure Day, there's like one eye symbolism and stuff like that. So I mean, they're really putting it in our faces, right? And the whole thing about Independence Day too is that it feeds into like the whole idea of like an alien invasion, yet again the secular version of like an alien invasion with spaceships and space lasers. And it also feeds into like the globalist agenda of like all the nations uniting together in order to defeat the alien threat. And it makes me think of this one clip from Ronald Reagan where he talks about, if there was an alien threat, it'd be easy to create like a one world government. It'd be easy to unite all the governments of the world if there was like an alien threat. And I'll also play that clip so you can hear it.
In our obsession with antagonisms of the moment, we often forget how much unites all the members of humanity. Perhaps we...
Yeah, isn't that like their goal with this like UFO shit, to form the one world government?
need some outside universal threat to make us recognize this common bound. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
This next thing that I want to talk about is I want to talk about the sort of stages of a Project Bluebeam. And if you don't know what Project Bluebeam is, it's basically a plan to fully establish the New World Order using a fake alien invasion, or using a fake apocalypse, basically, right? And so like the 4 stages of Project Bluebeam are as follows, right? The first stage is fake archaeological discoveries in order to discredit world religions, right? Like that's the first stage. of Project Bluebeam is to basically create fake archaeological discoveries. Like, it makes me think of like that alien, that fake alien body that like, oh, this Mexican archaeologist discovered, this alien body and all
Yeah, that was so dumb. This shit is up so dumb.
this other stuff. So it's stuff like that where it's like that whole fake archaeological discovery stuff. It's been happening, and we've been living through stage one, and it also makes me think of a lot of like the Ancient Aliens, like the TV show Ancient Aliens on the History Channel, also feeds into this sort of narrative that like, oh, okay, all the ancients, that they were just dumb cavemen who they didn't know what they were talking about, and like what they saw was advanced technology. What they saw were spaceships. What they saw were extraterrestrial entities. They didn't see demons. Okay, like they're not demons. They're not spiritual entities. Okay, they just saw really cool zippy zappy zoo technology, right? And yet again, you have that undertone, and I want to emphasize that sort of undertone that they're going to try to promote, is that they're trying to promote a sort of secular version of these beings. And there's this other movie that has a lot of like predictive programming in it. I think it's called Childhood's End. And like the whole plot of the movie is that there's these these red demon creatures with dragon wings, and it turns out that like, oh, humanity misunderstood these entities because like they're actually aliens and they're actually benevolent.
You know what movie I remember too that was pretty controversial for its time? I think Hellboy. People, I like vaguely remember a lot of people talking about like Hellboy, like, oh, that's just like hell demonic and like all this and that.
And they're actually here to help us, right? So a lot of the predictive programming stuff that they've been putting into the movies has that sort of narrative that they're trying to secularize the demonic or the archontic, or and yet again, like, these are all interchangeable names for the same anti-human force that I'm talking about here. It's not just relegated to one religion necessarily. I think you can say demon, you can say archon, you can say jinn, you can say reptilian. These are all different names for the same force that wants to control humanity, right? And so, but that really is like an undertone that you should notice, is like whenever they try to secularize or try to discredit the spiritual side of things by making it seem like it's a purely secular, that there's like a purely secular explanation for all this stuff, right? But that is the first stage of Project Bluebeam, is the fake archaeological discoveries, and the second stage is holograms in the sky, right? Basically, what they're going to do is they're going to use
holy shit, yeah, this shit happened in China. What the fuck was this?
Satellites to project holographic images onto the sodium layer of the atmosphere, which is it's a layer of sodium atoms in the Earth's atmosphere, and they're going to basically use that as a screen to project their holograms. And one clip or image that'll show is like of this sort of city in the sky that people spotted in China, and this was a long time ago. That this happened, but people
yeah, I remember that shit. That shit was like huge news when I was growing up, like for 2 days. And then that was it. We never heard about that shit ever again.
Saying that, oh my gosh, there's a city in the clouds, there's a city in the sky, and of course the mainstream media sort of wrote it off as oh, it's just a mirage or whatever. But that is one of the tests of this holographic technology, is having that city in the sky.
Crazy.
So like this holographic technology is definitely real. This holographic technology is definitely something that they have access to, and I think that advanced technology is something that they have hidden away. They have anti-gravity stuff hidden away. They have 0 point energy, free energy stuff hidden away. They have
for sure, bro. Yo, I'll never forget. A little quick story time before I have to go. But the latest I'll leave is like 1:20, right? Because it doesn't take me that long to get ready. Oh my god, the most insane like UFO story that I have is once. I've said it plenty of times, but I gotta say it every time that I think of something like this, bro. So one time we went to Mexico, right? And then every time we go to Mexico, we go to this one church. So one day we went to the church, and then boom, we came out. It was me, my mom, my dad, my godmother, my godfather, right? And they were talking blah blah blah, me, I'm just a kid, like I'm over here like zoning out, looking at the sky. Sometimes I like to look at the sky and I'm like, wow, like it's so beautiful. Like, look at the clouds don't even look real, right? Like sometimes I really do be thinking like, damn, is the sky even real? Because it all looks like so weird, you know what I mean? Like it almost looks like it's projected. Like it looks so strange, like so, I don't know. There's something about the sky that doesn't really sit well with me, but yeah, it looks very strange. The sky looks very strange sometimes, especially when you have these like really like clay-looking clouds, and then how everything just moves. Like to me, that all just seems like when they used to do like the plays. Like I think there would be like in a wooden box, and it would be like a play. Then it would be like the two characters like be like, and then the background is just like a like something like rolling like this, and then you like crank the thing, and then the background moves and the characters move. That's how the sky be looking to me sometimes. But anyways, I was looking at the sky and I see something zipping, bro, zipping through the sky, zipping like ridiculously, like insanely fast, like longitude, latitude, bro, left, right, up, down, diagonal, bro, any side, bro, any side. It was going crazy, bro, insanely fast. And I tell my mom, I'm like, yo, look at that. I'm like, are you guys seeing this right now? And we all looked up, and they saw it, and they're like, yo. Like, and my I remember my godfather and my godmother being like, oh yeah, there's alien, like, or there's not alien, but like UFO, there's UFO shit. Like, people see UFO shit in Mexico all the time. Because, bro, no one's going to believe a Mexican, right? No one's going to believe a Mexican. Everyone thinks that Mexicans are like, look how the world state knows Mexicans, that they're drinkers, they're partiers or whatever, right? No one's going to trust a Mexican. Like, they're going to be like, oh, you're drunk or whatever. And Mexico is like the perfect place to do it. Because, again, like, bro, if the only like place in Mexico that's like really important is the city, Mexico City, right? That's like the only maybe place in Mexico that has any type of credibility about anything, or has like any type of like educated people. Like, everyone else for the most part is just like farmers and people who are just trying to get their day by day. They're not like looking at the sky like how I was that day. They're just like not people like laying on the floor looking up like on a picnic and stuff like that, bro. That stuff doesn't happen in Mexico. So, and I remember that so vividly, bro, because it was going insanely fast. It was going insanely fast. And then for the longest time, I did believe in aliens, but now I'm like, damn, like, bro, these governments really do have this technology, but they just don't want to disclose it. Because obviously it benefits them way more if they keep that shit hidden. Because then they can use it against other governments, or they can use it for whatever type of research they privately want to do, you know?
Have like all of this advanced technology that they want to control, because if they leaked it to humanity, then humanity wouldn't be able to be as controlled. All right, and at a certain level, it's not about money, because they control the banking systems, they control the money flow. Yeah. Okay, that even the concept of money is something that they control, at a certain level. And so I think that at a certain point you have to realize that it's about control. Okay, but that is the second stage of Project Bluebeam, is holograms in the sky. And what they're going to do is they're going to project holograms of religious figures, whether it's Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, Krishna.
Facts. We got to be ready for this. See, this okay, relating this back to another video. If I section this video out, like, this is another video, we watched another video about this guy talking about his dreams, talking about like the end times and the Antichrist, and the guy said that he had a dream about Obama. He had like several dreams about Obama, like, which I found kind of weird, but yeah, he was having a couple dreams about Obama, and then there was this one dream where it was like a conference room, and then someone was about to give a speech. There was a podium, multiple mics, and this Obama-looking person came out. He's like, I'm Obama, but I'm not Obama, basically that's what he said. And then, okay, so tying that back to this now, yeah, just like how that guy's how Obama in that dream, he said, I'm Obama, not Obama. Like, this ties in perfectly with this,
depending on the region. And then after this happens, what's going to happen is that there's going to be like this voice in the sky. That is also another thing too, is like the voice coming from the sky, in order to talk to the people of Earth. That is another part of this sort of space show, is that they're going.
Yeah, bro. Like, think about it like this. Yo, what the fuck are they doing in the space station? What the fuck are they doing in the space station? No way they're just up there doing like research, bro. And then to no benefit. We haven't been to the fucking moon. Are you retarded? Like, we gotta be some kind of stupid, bro. Them motherfuckers have been out there for years, and you think they're not working on some shit to control humanity? Bro, if they already had control of humanity in the beginning with entertainment, you think they're not trying to control humanity with another thing? Bro, you're dumb. You're dumb if you don't think that.
So you're going to project all these different religious figures in the sky, and then the religious figure is going to say, hey, all world religions are crap, okay, and we need to go towards the one world religion. We need to go towards the New Age religion, and all of the religious figures are going to merge into a single Messiah, basically. And so that is the second stage of Project Bluebeam, right? And the third stage of Project Bluebeam involves a voice-to-skull technology. It involves like the voice of God technology, where basically microwave technology is going to be used. If you pulse microwaves at frequencies that are audible ranges into the human brain, then you can directly you can make it seem like that there's a voice inside your head, or that there's a voice speaking to you. And what's going to happen at this stage is that this technology is going to be used to convince people that God is speaking to them. And what's going to happen after this is that all of the religions of the world are going to be convinced that their religion is the correct one, and they're going to basically fight against each other. Like, the religious fanatics are going to fight against each other because they think that God's speaking to them. Okay, so And then of course you have like the holy wars and like the conflict that is going to come from all that, right? And of course that generates a lot of loosh. If you want to talk about the loosh harvesting, if you want to
The Saturn cult. That's crazy. That's crazy.
talk about the energy harvesting, right? Creating holy wars from
The Abrahamic cults are clearly Saturn demigod cults.
voice to skull technology, the the voice of God technology, that is definitely something that generates a lot of loosh.
The big three monotheism religions lead to Saturn. It's so sad, but it's so true.
Right, but that is the third stage of the psyop, and the fourth stage of the psyop is a supernatural manifestation using technological means, basically a worldwide, supernatural manifestation, right? And there's three ways that this could go. There's three avenues that this could go, and the first one that's sort of the obvious one.
Yeah, isn't it crazy? And this is like a point like that Sneeko brought up. All right, and I don't agree with Sneeko like in everything, but this is a good point that he made, because you can make the same argument with like Islam or whatever. Not the same argument exactly, but you can criticize Islam in the same manner. But so he basically said, isn't it strange that the symbol of Christianity is Jesus Christ's lowest point? Like, Christianity is such a religion based on the humiliation of Christ. And that is sad, bro. That is really sad. But the way that I think I coped with it was like saying, oh, like, of course you're supposed to remember, because he died for your sins, so you're supposed to remember that he died like that's how he died. It's because you got to remember how like brutal it was and all this and that. But I don't know, bro, because that is true. The Saturn cult shit is true. Because why are all Abrahamic faiths like? They do tie back to Saturn. Like, it is really interesting.
Is the fake alien invasion to scare people into a one world government, basically, right? And what this is going to do is basically there's going to be like an Independence Day scenario that they're going to stage with this holographic technology. And I also think that they're going to use real anti-gravity craft in order to enhance the realism of this. And so they're going to use this as a false flag, as a fake threat, in order to
how many people are going to die?
To use that as an excuse to create a one world government, because they're basically going to say, hey, the only way that we're going to survive this this alien threat. Is if we band together. We need to create a one world government in order to fend off the aliens. And if you just trust the government, we'll protect you from the big scary aliens, right? So that is the first way that stage 4 can manifest. And the second way that stage 4 can manifest is a fake rapture with basically with an off-world civilization helping to save the Earthlings from a fake demonic attack, right? That's the second stage of this is a fake rapture, like a fake rapture or a mass abduction in order to save people from a fake demonic attack, right? That is the second way that this can manifest, right? And the third way that this can manifest is basically like a fake demonic manifestations, right? Basically mass demonic manifestations in order to create hysteria, in order to create hysterical conditions, in order to drive people to hysteria and into fear, in order to frighten people into accepting the new Messiah. Okay, so those are the three ways that stage 4 of the Project Bluebeam operation can manifest. Is you have the fake alien invasion to scare people into a one world government, and then you have the fake rapture in order to quote unquote save people from a fake demonic attack, and then you have the mass manifestation of fake demonic manifestations in order to scare people into accepting the new Messiah or this Antichrist figure. Okay, but yeah, that is Project Bluebeam explained. I think that it's a very interesting theory to sort of go into, and there's a PDF or a document that I'll link it down below in my Google Drive so that you can sort of read more about it, because there is a lot of really interesting things about this, and I think that this is just a possibility. I'm not saying that this is 100%
Facts. Very good video by Schizo Thumbs.
going to happen, but I am saying that this is a possibility that I think people need to be aware of, especially with the way that all the missing scientists and oh my gosh, all the UFO researchers are going missing, and oh my gosh, there's an alien threat. That does seem to be a thing that is happening in recent times, where they do seem to be ramping up for a psyop in the same way that you had all these doctors and all these alternative medicine people dying just before 2020, just before COVID. That seems to be happening again, but this time there seems to be like an alien invasion or
Very, very, very true. And also this guy, politics is just Jester maxing for the Archons is very true, very true. Politics is really just one big Jester max. That's facts.